Yeah, I have started and it will be on cloud now. Okay, fine. So let's begin this session. Let me ask a question to all of you. Is it necessary that we must have a trainer for all the training sessions, or can we learn something on our own as well?
Not necessary. We can
Not
Not necessary to have trainer for every session. We can learn something on our own also.
on our own also. Okay.
At our own, also we learn something, and
But
there
we
is a
will get the yeah,
Okay.
carry on, Naren.
Examples?
by our own experiences and whatever we comprehend by reading the reading material, study material we have received.
Okay. All right. I want all of you to draw 4 circles which are interconnected, like in a clockwise direction. In a clockwise direction, 4 circles which are interconnected in clockwise direction. Can anyone show it to us if you have done? Any one of you? Draw 4 circles in clockwise direction.
Four, four are interconnected or one by
Four.
one?
All 4 interconnected in a clockwise in clockwise direction. 4 interconnected. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can anyone show it to us? Very simple, right? Yes, yes. Naren ji has done it. Manpreet ji has done it. Okay. Okay.
So
I
this
want
be overlapped, sir, or just
no,
connecting to
no. They should not overlap. Clockwise, clockwise. See, this is a test for your visualization also. How do we follow instructions? How do we follow? How can we do something without instructions or minimal instructions?
right?
So this session, I'll be giving you hints from far, and you will have to draw a meaningful picture from that. I'll be giving you hints from far, minimal hints, and see how you can give a meaningful picture to that. Okay? Sheshgiri ji, yes, yes, correct, correct. Okay. Now let's give names to these circles. Let's give names to these circles. Name the first circle as attention. Name the first circle as attention. Name the next circle, the second circle, as retention. Retention, retention. Name the third circle as motor reproduction. I have texted that in the chat window. Please refer to that. Name the fourth circle as learning. Learning. Name the fourth circle as learning. So can you all read now? What is the name of the first circle? What is the name of the first circle? Attention.
Attention,
What is the name of the second circle?
retention,
Retention. What is the name of third circle?
Motor
Motor
reproduction.
Reproduction.
What is the name of fourth circle?
Learning.
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 Okay, fine. Now, I had asked a question to all of you a while back. Can we learn on our own, or do we need a trainer every time? The answer lies in between. You know, we always need a guru, we always need a teacher to propel us, to push us forward. Okay, now list me the thing that you have learned with the help or under the influence of your role model. List me the things that you have learned, of course, on your own, but this learning was influenced by your role model. For example, if you ask my own case, I have learned to bounce back after a failure by observing my role model, who is Sachin Tendulkar. Failures are common. What lessons do we learn from those failures? How how do we
ये इंग्लिश ये नीचे लिखो बेटे, यहाँ स्पेस
Ramesh ji, please mute yourself.
okay, how do we learn something under the influence or strongly influenced by our role model? Okay, for example, in my own case, how do we answer our critics? How do we bounce back from failure? How do we become resilient? Failures are common. How do we give a mouth shutting answer to our adversaries? How do we rise from the depths of failure? I have learned something from my own role model, who is Sachin Tendulkar. Now, this particular learning theory, or this is also training, this is experiential learning. We experience failure and we want to jump out of this well and we want to emerge successful. Every time we cannot attend a training session, every time we cannot find a trainer. So there is a trainer who continues to influence for all times. When we adopt this type of learning for our own self, this method is called as social learning theory. I repeat, please don't refer or please don't um, be worried about content, PPT and all that. Listen to my lectures, be 100% attentive. You will not require any second reading. This is my promise to you. When we learn through our role models, this type of learning is called as social learning theory. And social learning theory follows these 4 steps that you have written down or you have taken down just now: attention, retention, motor reproduction, and learning. For example, imagine there is a young cricketer who wants to play cricket, who wants to represent the country, and he is strongly influenced by a particular cricketer, maybe Virat Kohli. Now, our generation, mm, a generation prior, probably Sachin Tendulkar. Today's generation, Virat Kohli. Now, how does he hold his bat? How does he learn to manage? How does he learn to focus? How does he learn to hold the bat? How does he learn to celebrate? How does this kid learn to hold on to match pressure? somewhere there is influence of his role model. And when we learn crucial aspects of our life with the help of our role model, that type of learning, that method of learning is called as social learning theory. And social learning theory follows these steps. And I'm going to demonstrate just that in a short while from now. But conceptually, I want all of you to be very clear what is social learning theory. When we learn socially, when we learn by observing our role model, that method of learning is called as social learning theory. In this case, there is absence of formal trainer and formal training program. Every time it becomes very difficult for us, for everyone to attend a particular training program or training program for everything in our life. We cannot do that. Okay, for technical skills, we understand that there are training programs. For product training, there are officially arranged training programs or officially scheduled, organized training sessions. But there cannot be training sessions for each and everything in our life. In such cases, it becomes important to have a role model and acquire skills by observing or by following the footsteps, by emulating, by benchmarking our role model. Now tell me whether it has happened with you. Refer to these steps that you have taken down just now: attention, retention, motor reproduction, and learning. I will tell you these steps in detail. Now you will tell me, you will share your stories if it has happened with you, and if you agree with the statement. Attention: when we have a role model and we are very much inspired by a role model, we pay rapt attention, or we pay undiluted attention to a role model. For example, you could be inspired by a public speaker. How does he start? How does he end? We pay rapt attention. When we pay 100% undiluted attention, normally the retention is very high. When a retention is very high, the next step is motor reproduction, meaning we start imitating our role model. We start walking like him, talking like him, playing like him, thinking like him or her. We become the replica or the other version of a role model. And finally, when we start imitating, when we start learning, okay, just a minute. Automatically, when we start learning, automatically when we start giving rapt attention, we start imitating. And when we imitate those skills, those ideologies, the mindset automatically is imbibed into us, and we become self-trained individual under the influence of our role model. Do you all agree with me?
Sir, is this the same case with Eklavya also, when he, admired that Dronacharya as a guru?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Dr. Deshpande,
Yes.
is it only emulating the role model, or can we say when somebody is trying to pull you down, or somebody like
In-
making sarcastic comment,
in
then
in
also you decide to learn something?
in all the cases, in all the cases, if we follow a role model and when we start learning with the help of this role model without officially organized training programs, that method of learning by following our role model, this is called as a social learning theory. Social learning theory. I'm going to demonstrate that for you. Please take all these steps: attention, retention, motor reproduction, and learning. Tell me if it has happened with you, first let me ask you a question. Write the name of your role model in case you have. All of you, please do this exercise.
Can there be multiple role models?
Yes, possible. At least one.
Okay.
At least one. Let's make the case very simple. Write the name of any one role model that you follow. Okay, write it for yourself. Not in the chat window. Not in the chat window. Because the chat window gets flooded. Write for yourself. Okay. Now follow these steps that I have told you. Social learning theory. Have you learned something from this role model? If yes, have you followed these steps? Recall. Recall. Revisit. Recall, revisit your childhood. Jog back in the memory line, in the memory lane. Jog back down the memory lane. Jog back in time. See if you have acquired some lessons with the help of your role model or by the influence of your role model. And did you follow these steps? Have you followed these steps? I'm sure the answer will be yes.
Yes.
Now quote any one example. All of you can share. A few of you can share. The choice is yours. Those of you who strongly watch, those of you who strongly agree, can start sharing your views, your experience, in case it has happened with you.
I would
Hello, sir.
say for my father itself, um, as in he owned a ready-made shop. So, I mean, a lot of things that I have adopted, of course, that we take from our parents, but specifically the skill of how to handle a shop, how to, fold the clothes, how to really select the quality of the clothes. So it has gone so deep into me that that has also become one of my passion.
Good.
And yeah.
Good. So in your case, I'm sure there was no formal training organized. All that happened was with the help of observation. You observed, you learned.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. So when there is absence of formal training session and a formal trainer, that type of learning, that type of training is called as social learning theory. And when we divide, or when we analyze, when we dissect social learning theory, it has 4 steps: attention, retention, motor reproduction, and learning. Motor reproduction is when a learner, when an aspirant, when a follower starts imitating his role model. Not physical imitation, but mental imitation, or acting like him, talking like him, behaving like him, thinking like him. If I was in his position, if what would I do? So that's it. Could even be training to train your mindset. It could even be rehearsal to train your mindset. That type of learning is called as social learning theory. Others can also follow the suit and explain if it has happened with you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
just wanted to share my experience. So I really
Please.
impressed with my first boss. So he worked with Maruti Suzuki. So when it come to know that he knows the Japanese as well as I saw him flawlessly speaking Japanese with the clients. So it had a great impact on mine. So I started learning Japanese. So I have done 3 year course in that. So after the completing the course, so I went to his just went to meet him. So I start speaking in Japanese. He was so influenced with that I learned from him, and then completed the task. It was my experience.
Yes. Now, in this case, I'll take your point a little further. You did not spend anything from your pocket. All that was inspiration. Maybe for formal courses that you have taken, you may have spent some amount, or you may have spent the course fee. But then to prepare your mindset or to learn that kind of mindset, I'm sure you haven't paid anything.
Yes, sir, yes. I really influenced with him.
That type of learning that happens without any cost is called as social learning theory. For example, how can we be very, very competitive? Now, no money or no bank balance, no matter how much bank balance you have, certain things cannot be taught with the help of money. Okay, so that is called as social learning theory. Anybody else willing to share your views?
Sir,
Yes.
can it be like, for me, it is like Shiva. Since childhood, we are aware of Shiva and everything, but suddenly I got to know about him more, and the kind of composure and calmness and rightful way of conducting self, everything I learned from him by
Yes.
observing, by
Yeah,
learning, by reading.
so you follow the path of discipline, you follow the path of righteousness, you follow the disciplined path because you are inspired.
Yes.
That is again social learning theory. That happens naturally because you are inspired, you're motivated.
Okay.
Okay. Did you understand what is this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, why is it useful to us? Why is it useful to us? As trainers, don't
It
you?
doesn't need any external motivator.
Yeah.
This social learning theory helps us to bring internal motivator to do the things.
Yeah. Are we not digging holes in our own pocket? You know, when we say trainers, we want more training assignments so that we can make some money, right? We can earn some money, right?
Yes.
Now, by making people independent, are we not digging holes in our own pocket?
No.
Are we not blocking our revenues by making people independent? This is an ironical question, but we need to contemplate. We need to give it some thought.
I think, sir, there are limitations to it. Each and everything we can't learn socially, my point of view.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will always be that we can get the inspiration, but for a formal training, we need people who can train them, and that will be like the 1 or 2 things will come there for sure.
Simultaneously, like we cannot have training, we cannot have social learning aspect for everything. We cannot have training for everything as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
true.
exactly, true.
True. That is where we need social learning theory. Now, as trainers, you can make people independent. That in itself is a training. Making your trainees independent thinkers, making them arrive at a changed mindset, as making them uh, get a transformed mindset is also training. So when you assign or when you awaken this in the minds of when you awaken minds and you make them realize that there is potential to learn without formal training, that is called as social learning theory. I'm sure it has happened with you and it has happened with each one of us here. Did you understand?
And sir, there must be some difference between self-learning and social learning, right?
Self learning will happen. For example, you may have
Means,
learned. Yeah,
uh,
I'm coming to it. I'm coming to it. You may have learned to ride a bicycle on your own, no teacher. Example, you may have learned to swim on your own. Okay, but then when there is social learning, the influence is better and it is ongoing. For example, you learn to ride bicycle, but at a point you run out of motivation, your motivational well dries up. You are no longer interested to take it further. Suppose you are cycling on a very tough terrain, you run out of energy, your fuel is burnt. That is when you recall your role model. For example, Tendulkar playing in Sharjah in hot conditions, yet scores a century with cramp in the leg. That fuels your motivation again, and it pumps you some energy. It gives you that adrenaline and say, if he has done it, I can do it as well. So to keep it going for a long time after self learning, it's like constant fuel for you. That is called as social learning theory. That is why social learning theory plays an important role. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Can we proceed ahead? Uh, you have some questions, Anika and Jugalji?
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Deshpande, this social learning theory, is it only based on learning from a role model, or it is also applicable when somebody's dealt with a social situation, a difficult situation in general in life, and people learn things or change behaviors because of those kind of situations? Does that also gets
No.
categorized as social learning?
Social learning theory is very specifically concerned about learning by observation or by observing your role model. Okay.
Oh.
Whenever you are in the middle of some adversity and the situation teaches you, that is self learning.
Okay.
When the situation teaches you something, and that is why we say adversity is the best teacher.
Okay. Okay.
You have learned without a formal trainer, you have learned. But then social learning theory, when social learning theory occurs when there is specific learning, and this learning is specially by observing someone. It could be anyone. It could be your teacher, it could be your role model, it could be your neighbor, anyone.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Deshpande, I was actually having a doubt regarding this role model concept itself. Because I think the way right now, when Naren asked you a question,
Yes.
and you started giving an example of Sachin Tendulkar,
Yeah.
correct? Maybe I think you are so much fascinated or maybe so much glued to that cricket or maybe the very, very fine things in the cricket. So that's how you are actually getting a motivation.
Yes.
So somewhere the kind of a concept that we are talking about right now, which is a social learning or a social modeling, are we saying that like when you I think just called out that particular point that you cannot run training for each and everything. There are
Yes.
certain attributes, there are certain traits which can be learned through social modeling.
Yes.
Correct? So
Yes.
are we actually looking for an external motivation factor which is actually encouraging you and
You-
engaging you to again and again re-energize yourself whenever you are not bringing yourself at par, or maybe you are feeling low, or somewhere you are actually trying to just say that okay, bus ho gaya, and now with that motivation you can again re-energize and then again getting into the same direction that
Yes.
you really would like to achieve.
Yes. So I'll take some of your keywords. You
Okay.
said reinforce. That's
Yep. Re-energize and reinforce.
reinforce. So that's one important thing. Second, the loop of motivation ends, but it has to start all over again.
Correct.
Okay. So this is the second word. Third one, social learning theory is when you start drawing energy from one source and you want to integrate that energy to all aspects of your life. For example, discipline, mindset, ethics. We follow someone very closely and we look up to that source, and we want to integrate, or we want that energy to flow in all aspects of our life. And when we draw energy, that is to revitalize us, and we start all over again. The kind of mindset that we prepare, that's called as social learning theory. For example, I will not cheat. I will be very ethical to my job. How did I learn this? Because my role model has never cheated the game, his profession.
But don't you think so that here we are talking about certain principles and values that actually
We
come
draw,
into our life?
yeah, by our culture as well. I agree with
Yeah.
you. But
Right.
then there are times when you're tempted to deviate. But then again, you look up to a source and say, no, I'll not do this because this is a source that I look up to, and my role model hasn't done this, so I'll not do this. I don't want to be unethical to my job because my role model has not done this. Even if you look up to your parents, they have had a very hard way of coming and bringing up. They have never resorted to shortcuts. I'll not resort as well. So when you look from the society angle, or you when you want to when you look up to a source of energy and you draw that energy into all aspects of your life, that is why we say that energy source acts as a source in every aspect of our life, because we cannot have training in every aspect of, or for every aspect of our life.
But what if the same thing I have learned in a training, in a formal setup?
Okay, then I think when you look at the training point of view, if you have worked for 10-15 years, probably nobody teaches you to dress well. There is no formal training for dressing.
There are.
Okay, there could be
I
one.
do that. I do that
Okay.
in my setup every time.
Oh, okay. Do you teach people to follow traffic discipline?
But I do that.
Okay.
I
Tell me,
had done it earlier with the kids, with the school kids, with school teachers. I had done it.
tell me something that you don't do for your trainings.
I think I have not done any training recently how to eat, or the eating etiquettes, or the table manners.
Okay,
Right now,
fine,
I'm not doing.
fine. So, like you haven't done or you haven't engaged a session for table manners or dining etiquettes. In all the organizations or in every organization, there cannot be training for each and everything. There cannot be training session, training modules for everything. You all, do you agree with this? For example, how to
Can,
be
if the word is can, then I'm sure yes.
can in the sense.
If the word is can, then the word is yes. If the word is should, then I will say yes, there should be
No, no.
things
For
to teach
example,
people.
my organization, I'll tell you my organization. My organization has not conducted any training program as far as time management is concerned. The place where I work, there are no training sessions for time management. People are normally, it is implied that people are uh, up to the level. It is implied that everybody who comes to this institute, uh, everyone is expected to follow time discipline. So there is no formal training. Likewise, any organization cannot have training for everything. For every aspect, there cannot be training session. That is why we need to have, or we can have informal methods of training for ourselves, if not for organization, at least for ourselves at our individual personal level. We follow up, or we look up to a role model, we emulate, we follow the legacy, we look up to a role model, we look up to a source, and we start learning from this particular source. That method of learning is called as social learning theory.
Uh, Dr. Deshpande, maybe just one more point which I just wanted to call out over here, because I think the way Sudarshan was trying to, I think, understand.
Yeah.
Here we are talking about certain behavioral traits, and
Yes.
maybe I think when it comes to social modeling, Moreover, from the hard skill point of view, I think rather than hard skill, we are talking about the behavioral traits.
Okay.
Is it the right understanding?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. And second thing, like when these kind of a thing, or maybe a discussion generally when you do with your audience, what happens like when we talk about our Gen X or Gen Z? So the Gen Z is actually right now not following anyone, because earlier, like when I used to interact with my batches, I think if I try to calculate, more than 10,000 or maybe 15,000 plus agents I have met in my all 20 days years of career. But in those particular sessions, people generally used to come up from the cricket background, maybe one of the sports person or maybe one of the Bollywood star. Nowadays, the entire thing has gone somewhere. Now they are talking about the influencers. They are talking about a person like who is actually coming in a YouTube reel or maybe Instagram, Snapchat, where we really, I think, if I talk about myself, I really do not have much knowledge about those people. But somewhere, when it comes to the role model per se, I am really not sure like whether they are making someone as a role model in the true sense. Because here we are talking about values, ethics, certain traits or skills like which they really want to learn.
Gen Alpha is likely to get even more worst.
Yeah,
This
correct.
is the generation after Gen Z. Gen Alpha is still expected to go out of order. What I mean to say here is, all that I want to say here is, all of us have a role model or the other in some aspect, right? For example, you may look up to someone, your colleague, your friend may look up to someone. When we acquire some traits without attending any formal training, because those traits are useful to me for my life, to be disciplined, to be appreciated, it is definitely soft skill. It is not hard skill. It is not product training. It is more of behavior. It's more of soft skill. It's more of behavioral tendencies and all that. When I draw these traits by observing, or when I attract these traits by looking up to a role model, and I will imbibe those traits into my personality for the better being, or for the wellness of my own per se, of my own personality, that is called as social learning theory. And all of us follow this. Knowingly or unknowingly, we do this.
Correct.
Okay, because there cannot be training for everything. Okay, for example, how to keep our house clean, there cannot be any training. So we learn it by observing our parents or our culture, maybe grandmother or someone.
So can we
Like
also
for
say that social learning theory is not just about following or drawing inspiration from your role models, but also about the environment that you live in, maybe kind of social conditioning?
But that environment will always have a character, will always have something in the middle of it. For example, every movie has a hero.
Yeah, so somebody or something that inspires you.
Yes. Okay, right. Can
So,
we proceed?
Dr.
Yes,
Deshpande, Sneha here. I wanted to understand. So, when we do on-the-job trainings, so that also includes in social learning and as well as reading books. So somebody gets inspired or motivated after reading a book and started implementing that kind of discipline in his life. So that is also included, right?
Yes, it can
Okay.
be. Suppose
Thank you.
he likes reading books written by a particular author. So maybe the books are inspiration for him, or a particular author is an inspiration for him. Possible.
Noted. Thank you.
Noted. Okay.
One
Can we
quick point. One quick point. I think by default, all of us are, have our, we have, by default, we have learned from our parents, from peers, from colleagues, from teachers. The life's lessons we have learned from our role models who have been different people at different points of time.
Yes. Okay. We will proceed ahead. Look at this slide. Look at this image. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. There is a black and white picture.
Okay. Tell me what comes to your mind when you look at this picture. Okay, by the way, we are studying projective techniques here. Okay, we are studying projective techniques.
Dr.
This is
Deshpande, I'm able to see a bottle with two glasses having two small umbrellas, maybe a mocktail or a cocktail sort of a thing, which is coming in my mind.
okay. Right. Okay, fine. Fine. Anybody else?
No, I see something else. Like
Yeah,
A man is holding two, bows and arrows.
okay, bows and arrows. Share
I
share
I
your
see
view.
someone injured.
Is somebody injured? Okay, okay.
No,
I
it,
see
it's actually
someone like a robot.
it is actually a ink blot symmetrical.
Ah,
Somebody is folded the paper and symmetry has been formed.
okay, the spilling of ink, you mean to say. Ink has spilled all over.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a deliberate, somebody is, folded the paper and made a symmetry.
Okay, symmetry. Okay, okay, fine.
I see there's a lady in between the bottle that they are referring to. It's a lady. The
Okay,
upper face is a lady, and in between there's a butterfly.
okay.
And the right hand side, I can see there's a man who is holding this bottle from one hand, and on the other, I can see there's another man who has held his head on the
Okay.
shoulder of this lady, and he's kicking with his other feet.
Oh my God, he's kicking the lady.
No, he's kicking on the other side.
Okay,
He
okay.
has held his head on
Oh,
the shoulder of
okay,
the lady.
okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, fine. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Time king.
Flying.
Old time king.
Okay, all-time king. Okay, you see a king here. Okay, fine.
I think because it's very hot here, so I think I can see a beer bottle and two mocktail glasses.
Okay, very okay. Fine, fine.
Maybe an alien.
All of you, please share your views. Everyone.
Sir, I am seeing a two ostrich birds.
Two ostrich birds. Okay.
They
Okay.
are eating something.
Okay, they're eating two ostrich birds. Okay, they're eating something. Okay, fine.
So I see a
Umbrella.
lady maybe dressed in a royal attire and two men, maybe some kind of a supporter trying to bow down
Okay,
in terms of respect.
royal traditional attire, something like Padmavat, Deepika
Yeah,
Padmavat.
something like that. Somebody
Okay.
in a very royal and festive mode, and there are these two, followers probably bowing down to her
Okay,
as a
very
mark of respect.
okay, very nice. That's nice. See how our perspectives are changing. See how our perspectives are changing. Aristocratic dressing, you mean to say? Fine. Anybody else with your views?
Maybe an alien.
Okay, you see an alien here. Okay. Anybody else?
Sir, I see an Indian sage
Okay.
working towards ourselves.
Okay, and hermit, a sage.
Hermit, yes. Hermit.
Okay, a sage with arms and some beard and all that. Okay.
Right.
Okay, fine, fine. That fine works. I cannot pull down anyone because each one of you has your own viewpoint. Nobody's wrong. Anybody else? Any other view that you can see here? Okay.
No, similar only.
See in what category do you fall here? Somebody said ostrich bird. Oh yeah, there is one category. Somebody said lady. You see a whole person. Okay, fine. Somebody said mythological person, like you said, sage, hermit. Okay, fine here. All right. Somebody said, see, just see in which category do you fall. Mark your category. Take down your category. Somewhere you fall somewhere here.
Yes, sir. Yes. Mine was third.
Okay, this is called as ink blot test. Ink blot test. Why is ink blot test done? See here. Ink blot test is done to share or to unravel your hidden feelings, subconscious feelings, and images. Okay, it gives you it gives us a perspective, or it gives us the perspective of the way you think about the world. Okay, it is to extract your hidden feelings. It is to see how do you see the world in front of you, and what is your research orientation. Okay, now tell me, where can this be useful? Where can this be useful? Suppose all of you are there, all of you are
Yeah, yeah.
connected.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Suppose I give you this weird product. I give you this weird product, and all of you are trainers, and I assign you this task of training your trainees so that they can go out in the market and sell this product. This is a weird looking product. We don't know what is this. Or even if we know what is this is very weird. Let's say it's a doll. Let's say it is a doll, or it's an item which a toy. Let's say it's a toy. I want you to train your trainees on this toy so that they can go out and sell this toy. Suppose I give you this task. How can you make this happen? Here is a toy. You are into product training. You must train your trainees on this product to make your trainees competent to go out and sell this product. Can you do this? If yes, how will you make it happen? Answer me. Don't feel weird. Don't
By
feel weird.
using creative aspects and convincing them, something like that.
Ah,
Sir, as of now, what I understand is I can sell it means like a art, like an art picture.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I don't
ah,
any other idea.
no other idea. Okay, right, fine.
Making someone realize that this is one of the antique piece which he
Antique,
can
which he
keep
can
it
sell.
somewhere. Yeah,
Yes,
and a very precious one which is not available anywhere,
yes,
handmade kind of a thing, or maybe a very, very older
yes.
one.
Antique piece which has a lot of royal value and
Yep,
which can be sold to people who like to procure antique products.
antique products.
So they become your
Prospect,
uh, prospective buyers, and they become your targeted segment,
correct.
right? Fine. Now, how did this thought come to you that uh, this antique piece can be sold? Is there a sense of hope that it can be sold?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So the learning here is, when you are conducting any training program, please identify in what category, or for what, in what category is your training falling, or your training falls. See, for example, you are selling products to human beings, you are selling products to animals, you are selling products to the nature, you are selling products to uh, colleges, non-living thing. So it is important, like this particular toy, this particular, we don't know what is this, to be very frank. All of you have given different names. Somebody said mocktail, toy, sage, bottle, umbrella, and whatnot. uh, at the first glance this was very vague. Slowly ideas start emerging, and please identify, the whole idea here is, make your trainings interesting, and realize make your trainees realize what is the purpose of this training. For example, here I want you to identify in which category are you thinking. You want to see this as a whole human being, you want to see this as a mythological creature, so that you can pitch in that way. your trainees can pitch in that way. So all that is going here is preparing mindset. All that is going behind here is you are preparing the mindset of your trainees in such a way that they are prepared to sell this product. Are you getting me?
So can we say, Dr. Deshpande, that it is actually giving us an understanding of the mind frame of our audience, so that when, as a trainer or as a facilitator, if we are conducting any sessions with them,
yes,
we could use one of the mindset, or maybe let's say if my audience is actually talking about the human details or a
Yes.
whole human,
Yes.
then my examples or my analogy or anything should be related to the human beings.
Yes.
But if there are people like who are coming from that nature or animal, I could give the examples in such a direction so that they can relate to it.
Perspectives. In what category can you make them fall? So that their energy is directed that way and they will be able to pitch in. It is more
So
of mind.
we have a trainer.
It is made of mindset preparation.
Okay.
Can
So
we go
we
ahead?
as a trainer, we can channelize the energy
Yes.
properly by
Yes.
using this.
Yes. Yes. Right.
I would just want to know whether the trainer is supposed to conceive a particular idea or it is free will, like we have
No,
to
no,
just throw it to the audience.
trainer is the facilitator. Like I asked you, how do you feel? What do you feel? I did not
Right.
impose anything on you. I did not defend my point saying, no, this is a joker, this is a clown. I never said that.
Got it. Okay.
So it's more of facilitating, it's more of channelizing as trainers.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next point. There's something called as World Cafe Method. Is World Cafe Method. Okay. This is the next training tool. So let's understand something about this. Okay. One question. Are you all with me? I'll stop sharing
Yes.
for some time. I'll stop sharing for some time. How is India different from other countries?
Culture. We have a very big culture.
Culture.
Diversity.
Diversified views, diversity.
Diversity. Okay.
Weather,
Strong
language.
value system.
Diversity with respect to weather, culture, festivals,
Language.
dressing, attire, food. All.
Views on time management.
Diversity in living style, sir.
Okay, diversity. Okay. Now,
Also,
popular,
India's
very
ability for
popular.
jugaad.
okay. Okay. Let's assume this way. Of course, the diversity is very beautiful and diversity is inevitable. We cannot deny this fact that we are a diverse country and every culture is different. Every state has its own culture and we have something called as unity in diversity. This is a known fact. Okay, we cannot deny this fact. It's a fact.
Concept of time management is different, like in India.
Okay, time. We are very different in the way we manage time. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now, World Cafe method is a training method. It's a problem solving based training method where people are made to sit in groups on at different places but the same problem is given to all these teams. For example, let's say XYZ organization has hit a rock bottom as far as its sales is concerned. They are not able to sell their products. No sales at all, zero sales recorded. Tough time. Now sales team has got 30 people. We make six teams and we divide the entire sales team into different categories. Maybe the category could be based on age, experience, education, educational background, culture that they come from. Okay, we make them or we divide them into different groups. Same problem is thrown across to all these groups. They are given a nice table to keep their diary and coffee mugs on. They are served with coffee. They are made to sit comfortably. But the problem that is thrown across to them is quite challenging. So every sales member from different group or from different groups decide on the same problem. Like we say, Maharashtra is different from Karnataka as far as this particular entity is concerned. One group is different from other as far as problem is concerned. So World Cafe method is a type of training method where people think independently. There is absence of formal training and people think on the same problem in different ways. And the trainer is acting as a facilitator here. And the trainer at the end compiles all the ideas that people give out. And the best solution or the best solution that is very feasible is taken for consideration and for further analysis. This is to make people problem solvers and independent thinkers. Not all the solutions can pay results. However, people are made independent thinkers and their problem solving skills are churned, even activated. That is called as World Cafe method. Are you all able to understand?
Sir, is it not like brainstorming or group discussion or group buzz
Very, very
kind of thing?
similar. Very, very similar to brainstorming, but then the point of storming is specific.
But in brainstorm also,
Yes, very similar to brainstorming. However, there is division of people based on certain criteria, and they all work on a common problem. The size is very specific.
okay.
Very similar to brainstorming, absolutely similar.
What is the
Officially,
size?
ideally, there are 8 to 10 people who make a group, and there are 6 to 7 groups who work on the common problem. In case the organization has less number of people and that particular organization wants to implement this idea or this method of training, the size may come down.
So that is a part of the company's strategic development strategy unit.
Yes. Again, why am I telling this, or why are we discussing this is there is absence of formal training. People are made to learn all by themselves. People are made to think independently. People are forced, or people are made to become problem solvers. It can be a part of company strategy. Agree. It may take time. So World Cafe method is a type of formal training method. It's a training method, but absence of trainer. Trainer is a facilitator. There is no lecture. There are no PPTs. There are no videos. People are made to think independently. Ultimately, what is training? People should learn something, right? That is training. What is
Sir, in
training
this
ultimately?
World Cafe method, can each group can be given a different topic to discuss?
No. They should work on a common problem.
That's a common, sir. Okay.
Yes, they should work on a common problem. They should work on a common problem.
And when you said that they'll be divided into 6 different categories, does that mean that maybe same education people is one category, same background is one?
Six is just a number. Depending on the size of the organization, you can make little tweaking. That's not very hard.
Yeah. I mean, I understood. So whatever the bunch that we have,
Yes.
7, 6, 8 people.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's
yes.
like one category. What does that mean? As in one
Okay.
type of education or
Okay.
one type of
Okay.
experience?
Okay. For example, you make a group of people who have undergone a special certification program. Maybe they can be made a bunch.
Yeah.
A group of engineers can be made a bunch. A group of people who are not very high in terms of education, but who have got a lot of practical experience, they can be made a bunch. Are you getting me?
Got it, sir.
Yes, yes, got it.
Okay, so that is called
So
as,
these groups have to be homogeneous only.
because if these groups are divided using some specific criteria, homogeneous group, there is better sync, or ideally you get that same mindset, or at least a little closer mindset. For example,
Yeah, right.
engineers think technically. Okay, for example, I was interacting with a doctor the other day about some spiritual aspect. Then I was discussing about an accident. I said, doctor, is there a possibility that there is some negative energy at a particular point on a highway? Lot of accidents happen at this place. Is there a energy that makes do this? Then a doctor said, no, I don't think about the spiritual and all that. He said, maybe it's about concentration of the brain. I asked another doctor. He also said, no, nothing spiritual, nothing. He said, uh, maybe it depends if the person is not healthy, if the person is not in right frame, if the person is under stress, he could commit mistake. Then I asked the same question to an engineer. He said there is problem with scientific make of the road. He said there is lot of elevation, it should not be elevated. Then I spoke to a spiritual guru. He said that energy there, that point has some unseen energy which could be the trigger, which could be the reason for this, because people think in the same way. That is why this homogeneity is required.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, are you getting me? Okay. Can we proceed ahead?
Sir, we can, for the examples that you are giving, so now we can means mix all the three doctors' response, sir, if we can say. Suppose, sir, because of the some flaw in the construction of the road.
So now probably
energies, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Probably, yeah, I got your point. So now if you have to work on this problem, you will take help of the civil engineers, and you want to change the structure of the road so that you reduce accidents. Okay, people have given different perspectives. Now I cannot change the person mentality of the person. So what I can do, the feasible solution is given by civil engineers who say the structure of this road is not proper. So let's dig this, let's make it wider, let's do something. So that solution I will expect. I'll extract and I'll work on it.
Sir, I have two more points to say.
Sorry.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, I'm saying that suppose the construction of the road is such a way that it has created some energy difference, and that has affected the driver's mind, and therefore the accident is taking place.
Yes. Your point is acceptable. So how do you work on this? Now everybody has an opinion. How do you actually work on the problem? So the best possible solution is now given by civil engineers. As far as this case is concerned, this problem is concerned.
Yes, sir.
In fact, we should consider all three opinions.
We
should install a small temple there to satisfy the spiritual group.
Somehow you want to reduce the speed, maybe you put up a caution board there. Or you want to change the road. You want to change the structure of the road, elevation, something you want to change, you want to do it. So best possible solution now, what people think is this. So let's work on this. You getting me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can we go further?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose now we will continue further. Suppose you are in the middle of a training session and you want to extract hidden feelings of people, hidden feelings, hidden emotions, hidden thoughts of your trainees. What can you do? What tool do you have or can you use? Suppose you are in the middle of a training session. Somehow you feel that the training is not going well, people are not receptive. How can you extract hidden feelings? How can you extract hidden feelings of your trainings? Hidden feelings, thoughts, emotions. What can you do?
So we
Anonymous
can
feedback
do some
form.
personality analysis, sir.
You can do some personality analysis.
Anonymous feedback form.
Anonymous feedback form. Okay.
Maybe a small portion of a psychometric assessment.
Psychometric assessment. Yeah. You want to dive deep into the emotional well of your training. You want to test the waters. You want to test what is their mindset, hidden feelings, thoughts, emotions. It's very difficult. Let me tell you, it's very difficult.
Sir, we can do a Johari window there.
Johari window can be done. Okay. So as a trainer, I'm posing this problem to you. How can you solve this? How can you get over this? You want to, that is when you can make use of projective techniques. That is when you can make use of projective techniques, like I said about the ink blot test just now, where I showed a weird looking image, which could help you to extract some emotions. For example, somebody says devil. What is the emotional mindset? Scare, negativity, scary, negativity, frightening, dark energy, right? Somebody said party, cocktail. Okay, I think Jugal said party, cocktail mode. So party mode, joyous.
So, sir, we are touching the subconscious part
Yes.
of this emotion.
Yes, we are touching, we want to touch emotional subconscious mind so that we reach there as a trainer. We just don't touch the surface with our product information. We want to touch deeper at the subconscious level. So these are all the lessons that we must take into consideration to make sure our trainings become very, very successful. So I'm here with a class assignment. Now I have floated two separate assignments to ISTD national headquarters, but this particular one is only for this session. So work on this problem and come prepared for the next class. That don't jumble up. Two questions will be floated to you by NHQ ISTD, and you will have to submit both the assignments in written form. And then don't say no, on 28th April sir discussed this and we have already submitted. No, this question is confined only to this session. So I request all of you to take down this question. Okay, to take down this question. Can I make that announcement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How can you make your trainees, how can you make your trainees interrelate multiple aspects? How can you how can you make your trainees interrelate multiple aspects to one entity? For example, did you
Sir, please,
did you take down the question?
sir, please, actually, due to network issue, I didn't get all of
Yeah, we
it.
did that.
Okay. How can you make your trainees interrelate multiple aspects to one entity? The question stops here, and I am explaining to help you think in the right direction. For example, in the city limits, there is a garden, there is a park. Now, this park or garden has to be analyzed by this garden has to be analyzed from various angles, from environmental perspective, from social perspective, from technical perspective. How can you make your people think, your trainees think? Okay, normally what do we get? What idea do we get? Okay, garden, place to sit, place to hang out, place to relax, place to walk, place to meditate. Okay, fine. Agreed. However, how can we think this technically? Technically, what purpose does the park serve? To reduce temperature, to increase green cover, to harvest rainwater? Technically. Spiritually, does it serve any purpose?
Yes.
Third, environmentally, something. Socially, something. Financially, something. Did you get my question?
Yes.
So come out with a presentation for your next class, and next class is for revision, but we will open the session with this presentation of yours. Shall I give you some hint? Where can you get the answer for these questions? You want some hints, or you're okay with no hint?
Yeah,
Please do.
You need hints? We will go by the majority.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead with the
I
hints.
also,
Sir, give
yes,
some
sir,
hint.
please give hint. I also need the hint, sir.
So you want easy nuts?
No, I think everyone will go differently if you don't give it hint.
Okay.
I think it'll be more creative.
Okay.
Sir, if we give an example, and then you can see that we can are we telling the correct one?
Okay. Refer to Gardner. Refer to Gardner's multiple intelligence theory.
Achha.
Refer to Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. If you refer and read that Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory and come back to this problem that I have given you or question that I have given you, you can draw better conclusions. Comprehensive ideas can be conceptualized, and the same aspect or the same mindset has to be transformed or has to be transferred to your trainees in your training sessions that you will be conducting. Meaning, link this mobile to multiple aspects. There is a cell phone that I am holding. Connect this mobile to spiritual world, to technical world, to social world. Okay, the answer lies in Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. So that's it for today. Thank you very much.
Sir, so we can take any product.
No, I have already given you the question. I have given you an example. You can take any product.
Any product. No?
Yeah, you can take any product.
Sir, how many slides would be there in presentation?
No, if you invite me to your home for a dinner, will you ask me how many chapatis will I eat?
No, sir, but
No, right?
time limit, like we all are there, so it should be over in the class also.
No, suppose I want to invite you to my residence for a cup of tea or for dinner. I will never ask you how many chapatis will you eat, how many biscuits will you need, how many cookies should I serve you. No.
No, sir.
So the answer is as per your comfort.
Okay.
The whole idea is it should be comprehensive. Even if it is not comprehensive, you should be satisfied with your research and answer. There should be no ambiguity to you and your audience. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. I hope the second session was interactive, useful, and engaging as well.
Sir, I have got one more question. It's a doubt.
Yes. Please.
Back social learning theory. Few days ago, I was going through this Bandura's social learning theory.
Yeah. Same.
So, is it like SLT is completely confined to Bandura's social learning theory?
Same
Okay.
one. Same one.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
The same one, yes. So thank you everyone for your participation, for your presence, for your inputs, for your interaction. I hope you have enjoyed and you have learned something out of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.